everyone, my name's Claire Varley and welcome back to the home of EDFL Web TV, the Pascoe Vale Hotel. We'll be coming to you weekly on the EDFL YouTube channel. Let's throw it over to Adem, Saricaoglu and Dave Kennedy to preview round one.
Good Friday football has been run and won for another year. A great way to start the 2015 EDFL Season 2 massive games. Dave, you and I were at Strathmore versus Keilor at Lebanon Reserve. The other big game as well was Hillside and Taylors Lakes. And I don't know about you, Dave, but I'm 0 for 2 in the tipping. I thought there were two upsets with Taylors Lakes and Keilor getting up in both games. Yeah,
it was a really interesting start to the season. Adam, obviously, Keilor boosted by their big man Andrew Brown and Dean Putt that were victorious over Strathmore in the Good Friday game. A massive crowd, a huge crowd. I think that was really the focal point of the entire Good Friday day. The footy wasn't the greatest. It was a little bit scrappy, let's be honest. But yeah, the crowd was massive. The weather was perfect, and it was a great start to season 2015.
You're right, it was a bit scrappy, but it is round one footy, and Keilor getting the chocolates up against last year's reigning premier. So a bit of work for Craig Clinic and his boys to do there. Over at Lionheart Reserve, Dave, Taylors Lakes, they got the jump on their old rival Hillside. Steve Burns coaching against the Lakers for the first time as Hillside coach, and 33-point winners in the end, Taylors Lakes, with Bakim Mamidi kicking 5 goals.
Yeah, some of the regular suspects that we saw during the final series last year, the Division 1 final series, Mamedi, Morelli, Mark D'Souza, of course, in the best players over there. So a good start for Taylors Lakes under their new coach.
Yeah, certainly was, and we do understand Rocky Ferraro, one of the new recruits for Hillside, did go down pretty early in the game, so a bit of work for Hillside to do as well as the season rolls on. But a good start to the 2015 season. Now let's bring on round one. So DK, it is finally here, round one of the Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division season, and we just got the preview last week on Good Friday, Keilor versus Strathmore, but I guess that was just the preview, and now we're into the real stuff. And look, it's going to be a big year for Aberfeldy. They're taking on Vale, their opponent from the 2013 Grand Final. This game at Clifton Park. They've done some heavy recruiting, Aberfeldy, over the summer, and obviously a new coach there now as well in Adam Potter. So what can we expect from Abbas round one against the Vale, also coming in with a new coach, Shannon Grant?
Very interesting, Adam. We saw one of Aberfeldy's finest, Kyle Reimers, on the field during Interleague, and very interesting to note that wasn't wearing his usual flamboyant boots. So maybe a new approach for Kyle Reimers, maybe a new approach for Aberfeldy, maybe a more balanced approach. We saw last year they just did everything really but win a flag. That was the one thing that evaded them. They had some good wins, a massive groundbreaking win against Avondale in the mid-season, and then it was just that grand final that they just couldn't quite get over the line.
It is a good point, Dave. They were only a couple points off a premiership last year, so they don't need to change too much. Maribyrnong Park and last year's eventual winner in that grand final, Strathmore, they're going to Marby, who we don't know too much about. They're obviously a new coach as well coming in this year, Robbie Costello. Strathmore disappointing last week, wanting to bounce back after that loss to Keilor. What can we expect down at Marby Park?
I don't think it will be too difficult for Strathmore to bounce back. They've got a really good list on paper. They've got Craig Clinic at the helm. We saw Scott West holding the coach's whiteboard on the weekend, or on Good Friday, I should say. So I think that Strathmore will really bounce back. Marby Park, it'll be interesting to see how they do go under their new coach. And yeah, it's one of those things we might just have to keep a watch on this space.
Airport West are an interesting one as well. Finalists 2 years ago against the finalists from last year, Keilor, who are coming in obviously looking pretty good after that win at Lebanon Reserve. Airport West and Keilor, what can we expect there?
Well, really interesting. Keilor, they won on the weekend, but they only kicked 10 goals. They kicked 10-6. That was 16 scoring shots and to 21 for Strathmore. So I still think that forwards are going to be hard to come by, or goals are going to be hard to come by for Keilor. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against Airport West.
Canning Reserve, 12 months ago we probably would have thought that Avondale Heights would roll Pascoe Vale. We're not so sure now. This could be a very even game against two potential contenders this year.
Yeah, interesting game. We obviously saw some of the Avondale forwards, or the two spearhead forwards, Galea and Rose, in action during the Interleague. They looked as good as always. Maybe Rose was a little bit inaccurate in front of goal, but I think Avondale will be another contender this year.
And finally, our radio game, 98.9 North West FM at Coburg City Oval. West Coburg are back in Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division, and they're going to take on the Northern Saints. We cannot wait for this game, Dave. It's going going to be brutal. We're expecting a good one.
Should be an absolute classic. I think that Digby Morell will make sure that his side, West Coburg, come into the game well prepared. I spoke to him during the off-season, and he's really excited about the prospect of playing in Premier Division this year. Northern Saints, well, they probably going to be without Nat Caruso, and I think that will hurt them, but it'll be interesting to see how both these sides go. Maybe West Coburg could start their Premier campaign with a win.
Well, Dave, Essendon Forward Division 1, the most unpredictable division of all of local footy, and we don't know exactly what is going to happen this year. We've got 9 teams that could all easily make finals. Many of them could easily get relegated as well. It is simply going to be that close. Tullamarine, runner-up last year, they won't be taking part in round 1. They have the bye, the 4 games that we will have. Taylors Lakes hosting West Meadows. Craigieburn will take on Glen Rory. Battle between last year's Division 2 champion East Keilor taking on the relegated team from Premier in Essendon due to Stars, and Oak Park will host Hillside. What can we expect from a division that's going to be intriguing all year, Dave Kennedy?
Well, as you said, Chief, it's very difficult to predict what we can expect, but one thing I'm really interested to see this year is how Essendon due to Stars go. A new coach, a new division, and maybe a new look due to Stars. They were really only a minute off keeping their spot in Premier Division on what was an incredible final day during season 2014. Northern Saints were the team that remained up, but due to Stars, I feel like they're going to be very interesting to watch. And East Keilor, well, they're going to be just as interesting to watch coming back or coming up into the division, and with a massive task ahead of them in the round 1.
Many are convinced they will go straight down. East Keilor again, I'm not so sure. I reckon they might just be able to stay up. So 4 massive games this weekend in Essendon Forward Division 1. Make sure you get out to one of them, because this season is going to be absolutely massive for this division. Strathmore Community Bank have come on board, and Division 2 finally has a sponsor, Dave. Strathmore Community Bank Division 2 action begins this weekend with 4 games. Obviously, Hadfield coming down from Essendon Forward Division 1, no more East Keilor. And the fact that East Keilor and Hillside are now gone from Division 2 means that the premiership race is pretty much up for grabs. Jacana will take on the relegated Div 1 team in Hadfield in round 1. Moonee Valley and Burnside Heights will face off as well. Coburg Districts, in some eyes, the premiership favourites. They'll begin their campaign against East Sunbury in a twilight game, 5 p.m. kickoff between Keilor Park and Roxburgh Park. It's going to be a lot more unpredictable this year, Division 2, Dave, and it's going to be a big round 1 as well.
Well, it was rather unpredictable for me last year, Chief. I think I really struggled in the tipping, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Roxburgh Park and how they respond to grand final disappointment this year. They were very good all season last year, and in the end, they just couldn't quite get over the line in the grand final. Obviously, they've got a big round 1 battle, and another team that has another big round 1 clash is Jacana. They were big improvers last year, and a lot of people expecting them to continue their improvement this season. It'll be really interesting to see how they go. Could they possibly make the finals? Well, I think maybe they could, and that would be a great acumen for the club if they were able to do that.
Big game for Keilor Park as well. They've got the twilight fixture. Disappointed with how last year turned out. New coach Louis Opitazano is now in charge. They'll take on Roxy. Pretty tough game for them to start off with. Yeah, well, you are the Keilor Park man, Chief. We'll get that out of the way early in the season so that everyone knows that our man Adem Saricaoglu doesn't mind a bit of Keilor Park action, but a huge twilight game coming up. It's a great way to start the season with something a little bit different, so big game for them in round 1, as you mentioned.
That's the end of this edition of EDFL Web TV. Make sure to check out the EDFL YouTube channel for more videos. I'm Claire Varley, and we'll see you back here at the Pascoe Vale Hotel soon.